Grassroots racers and fans to gather around. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for our 38th season, America's longest-running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. Tell your friends they still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey gang, how are you? Yes, we're in front of a live audience. Yes, we're hanging out with you on this May 17th edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Thank you and welcome. We're live at Polly's Pub and Eatery at the corner of 81st and Greenfield Avenue in West Dallas, right across the street from the Milwaukee Mile. Come on down and join the racing crowd. And when you hear these commercial messages or anybody saying they're sponsors on the show, support those people. They make racing happen. They make this show possible. Hey, the massive Automotion Car Show fills the Wisconsin Dells area this weekend, so keep an eye out for all those cars coming from all over the place. Well, guess what? It also includes 2 days of drifting at Dells Raceway Park, so check that out, dellsracewaypark.com if you're in the area. They're having some drifting going on this weekend as part of the Dells Automotion Car Show. Hey, tonight on the show, we're so happy to have these guests lined up. You're going to enjoy the program, no doubt, and you can join us here at Polly's or stay right where you're at. Because tonight we're joined by Kawicki Driver Development Program racer Jacob Nottestad, who's racing for the Kawicki Cup in his family-owned Super Late model. We have racing brothers Matt and Michael Rose, who are racing next Saturday, May 28th at Dells Raceway Park in their American Super Cup cars, which are sitting right out here in Polly's in the parking lot. Thanks, guys, for bringing the cars down. Modified champion Chris Carlson has his Central Services Oak Creek Automotive sponsored modified here tonight. It's along the curb lane, so you can't miss it on Greenfield Avenue. And we're glad to have Charlie Cincinnati bringing the work vehicle over. Yeah, his modified. He drove it over here from his nearby work place of business. Can we say that? I think he just drove it off the hauler. Yeah, that's it. NNS Towing is right around the corner. So after 3 years away, we got Charlie Cincinnati here back with his race car, talking to us on the Racing Roundup Show. We're so excited to have him on. Brought a bunch of people as well. And when we come back, we're chatting with open wheel ace Chris Windham. We've had him on the show after he's won the Little 500. We talked to him about USAC races. Well, he's now a full-timer in the Winged All-Star Circuit of Champions Sprint Car Series. He's racing in Wisconsin 3 consecutive nights this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a IRA All-Stars Challenge. We'll talk to him about previewing the huge 3-night Wisconsin swing for his All-Stars against the IRA Sprints all weekend. Plus, Dean Strom is here. We have coverage of the Wisconsin racing scene during the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. And we are packed with motorsports content once again tonight. Thanks for being here. Join the racing crowd here at Polly's Pub and Eatery, or stay right where you are, and we'll be right back after these words.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show, covering things all about Wisconsin racing, all about the national scene, all forms of motorsports. We're talking about a lot of different disciplines tonight. And we're so happy you could join us here for another edition on this May 17th show. I'd like to welcome back American Foundation Specialists as a season-long advertiser on our program. Find out what we're doing at racingroundupshow.com. If you want to be involved or contact us, love to have you on the show or supporting our program as we support racers throughout the area and give them exposure on this year's program. So looking forward to seeing you here on a given Tuesday night. We have lots of prize giveaways after the show as well. We'll tell you about those in a moment. A driver going after 3 huge trophies this weekend joins us now live via video link. He's from Canton, Illinois, but he drives everywhere and he drives fast. He's won championships in USAC. He's won the Triple Crown in USAC. He's won the Little 500. He's raced at the Chili Bowl, and now he's racing full-time with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Let's welcome in the driver, that number 19 NOS Energy Machine for Hayward Motorsports, Chris Wyndham. Chris, welcome to the Racing Roundup Show.
How you doing?
I didn't have a NOS today, but I'm fully up on caffeine, man. I'm so excited you guys could make time to join us. How stoked are you for this weekend, knowing what's on tap at tracks that you had a few laps on, but not a ton?
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to it because it's actually one of the few tracks so far this year that I've had a little experience at in a wing car. And starting off at Wilmot, we actually ran pretty well there last year, the IRA race. I think we ran second. So that's definitely good for me because a lot of the tracks we've been going to, I've never even seen before. So I'm looking forward to starting the weekend off there and hopefully having a solid 3-night weekend.
So when it comes to Wilmot, you've got some familiarity, but this has to be a big deal for you. Racing with the All-Stars, I've seen a transgression, I guess, with Tyler Courtney, Parker Price Miller, Spencer Baston, yourself, Zeb Wise. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are now saying, I want to go wing sprint car racing. Chris, you've been so accomplished in non-wing stuff. What propelled you into this opportunity with Hayward Motorsports going wing racing full-time with the All-Stars?
I mean, I think you said it a little bit there. I felt as if I'd kind of done everything in USAC I wanted to do. I won all 3 championships. I won a lot of races that I wanted to win, and the wing side of things is, something I've been wanting to do for a few years now, and it's a new challenge for me, and I really like that, how challenging it is. So that's a lot of people think it's all just about the money for me, and that's really not it. Obviously, there's a lot more money to potentially be made there. But, that between that and, just the competitiveness and a new adventure for me is really what propelled me to do that.
We're chatting with one of the bravest men in a race car, Chris Wyndham. I've seen you race an ARCA car. I mean, I've seen you race it on dirt top 10. I've seen you race at super speedways. I mean, it's been a long career thus far, and you're not that old. So when it comes to this change and this challenge, what are some of those monumental changes and challenges you have to face against this really tough, like 14 full-time guys, including yourself and the All-Stars that are coming to town this weekend?
Oh man, how many hours you have? There's a lot. This is definitely the biggest challenge I've ever had in racing so far. Probably the main thing right now is not winning races and running up front yet. That's tough for me to do. But I feel like we're heading in that direction, and there's just so many elements to this. Wing cars just drive so much different than non-wing cars. Like we touched on earlier, going to a lot of new racetracks that we've never been to, and being a rookie team, not just myself, our whole team is really kind of a rookie team in the wing series. So just a lot of challenges. And like I said, coming to somewhere we've been once at least this weekend is, we're a little bit ahead of the game, I feel like there. But, I feel like our improvements have shown the last few weeks. And, we're battling for top tens now. And, obviously we eventually want to be winning races sooner than later. So we're trying to get there as quick as possible.
Caught the end of the feature at Waynesfield, Ohio this past Saturday night on Flow. Chris Wyndham recorded your first top 10 finish in 9th place there in the A main. Looking ahead to this weekend, I think you got a really good chance, but you also know there's IRA guys. You mentioned you raced against them once already, but that's going to be a stiff order, I think, to go to Wilmot on Friday night, Plymouth on Saturday night, and Sunday night at Angel Park Speedway, where it's a lot of tight racing on these racetracks. How do you guys bulk up for a 3-day weekend, even if it's a track you've never been to or a track you kind of have an idea what's going on?
Yeah, I think we've been racing on a lot of tight tracks so far with the All-Stars and starting to get a lot more experience with the slick track things, being in Ohio, because those are some of the slickest places I've ever seen. So trying to, the bull ring racing is tough, and the wing car is just, it's not necessarily any tougher than a half mile, but everything happens quick and everybody's in tight quarters. So it's that's definitely something I'm learning. And this weekend, like you said, being there with IRA, there's going to be a lot of tough guys up there with that crew. So it should be a good show though, with all the All-Stars coming and trying to go up against them.
And I have to equate it to hitting baseballs, a round ball, round bat at 95 miles an hour. You've been making some really good swings, so making some good contact. But now you get 3 straight games to play: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Does that mean you're going to work on one race car and communication, or are you going to switch back and forth because there's so much maintenance to do between these 3 consecutive nights of racing in Wisconsin?
No, we'll be sticking with the same car, hopefully, barring any crazy issues. But that's what we're currently working on, just trying to get a good baseline package. We can show up night in and night out, and just kind of make the night go easier. And I feel like the first couple weeks of the season we were thrashing a little bit because we don't really have a notebook for any of these places, and we just kind of go in blindly and hope that we're close. And a lot of times we haven't been close, and a lot of times my driving hasn't been close. So between all that, we've had a lot of challenges. But like I said, we're overcoming them, and these 3 nights I'm looking forward to, because I love getting to race 3 nights straight. That helps me a lot, getting to go 3 nights in a row. And like we said already, going to 2 of the 3 I've been to. So we got 2 of the 3 this weekend.
Friday night Wilmot, just giving you ideas here. Lightning Sprints are racing with the IRA All-Stars on Friday night at Wilmot Raceway. The Wisconsin Wingless is racing too. Just saying. Saturday night Plymouth, they got 360 wing sprint cars. This is Chris Wyndham we're talking to. So, Sunday night the Badger Midgets are racing with what you're going to be racing. Any thought, any idea about bringing that spare set of something in case somebody says, hey, you want to drive my stuff? Because, you've driven everything.
You never know. I'm so focused on what I'm trying to do with the wing car right now that I don't know if I do it for sure. But, I do like to race anytime I can. So you never know. Depending on what the opportunity was, I might jump in and run it.
And as hard as you're working at what you have now at the All-Stars and that NOS Energy sponsored number 19 with Haywood Motorsports, have you looked at other opportunities or other races on your schedule, Chris, that we should keep an eye out for that are not necessarily All-Star races, or just maybe more seat time in something else or another series?
Yeah, I don't have a set schedule for anything outside of the All-Stars right now. I know we will go and race the non-wing car whenever we've got a chance to, and I'll run probably 4 or 5 midget races with Chad Boat, and go back and probably run the BC 39 in Indy, and kind of just a deal where if we get rained out one weekend, we want to go run the non-wing car, or I want to go run the midget, I'll jump in and run it. I'm sure I'll try to run all 4 at 4 Crown in September. So
of course,
not a ton of not a ton of non-wing stuff on the schedule, but I'm sure we'll be throwing some in here and there.
We're excited to see you 3 straight nights this weekend. How about I say it for Chris Wyndham joining us here? He's going to be racing with the All-Stars and the IRA this weekend. 3 nights of racing. Chris, thanks for your time tonight on the Racing Roundup Show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate it a ton. Chris Wyndham again, racing with the IRA All-Stars. Again, the IRA has a really good schedule, but this weekend they welcome to co-sanction with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. Friday night Wilmot, IRA versus All-Stars, Lightning Sprints from Wisconsin Wingless. It's $30 to get in. Kids 7 to 11 or $5. All this info is at irasprints.com. Saturday night Plymouth, they are joined by the 360 sprint cars. $30. Ticket sales open at 4 p.m. at Plymouth on the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds. Sunday night, Angel Park with the Badger Midgets. It's a $6,000 to win. $25 ticket in advance, $30 at the gate at Angel Park Speedway. So they're paying $6,000 to win their sprint car race. So there's a lot going on. The IRA, the All-Stars together this weekend in Wisconsin for 3 big nights, the biggest sprint car night weekend of the season. Looking forward to seeing you there. I'm heading. Dean, you and I are going on Friday night, right? We're going to Wilmot Friday night. Yep, it's going to be fun. Look for the guys that are in the tailgating area about noon, right? Noon? Okay, I got a nod from Dean, sure. Hey, it's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR Report. Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America. And Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. And this here helmet sitting in front of me has Kyle Busch's name all over it. He actually finished 3rd on Sunday. I was at Kansas Speedway. Man, was Kurt and Kyle were doing a great job. Kyle Larson was up against the fence as expected. What a great race, and did not disappoint. Something that's happened that you're like, oh, how is that possible? You know, they went to the single lug, and I talked to Kyle Busch when I talked to him in Daytona on the driver fan stage. He talked about Joe Gibbs Racing have a new way with a single lug to do their pit stops. And then I said, how's that coming along? He said, we can't use it yet. NASCAR won't allow us to do that. They won't allow us to do our pit stop orchestration where literally the right rear tire changer comes all the way around and changes the left front. The right front tire changer comes around and changes the right rear. So they get the hose cleaned out from in front of the car. Boom. Guess what? Sunday, Kyle Busch needed a great pit stop. He got one. He was the first driver in NASCAR Cup history with his team to record an under 9-second pit stop, 4 tires and fuel. Under 9 seconds for Kyle Busch and that team. He got pinched for something. He had to go to the back and still finish 3rd. It's amazing to see what they can do. But Kurt Busch and Larson were the show. They went back and forth. Kurt had a really fast car. Larson got the lead. Larson felt him coming. And Kurt did everything right. He put the pressure on Larson. He banged it out the fence in turn 2. Larson said it was all his fault. That's all Kurt needed with 9 laps to go to finally pull away and pull to his first victory for 2311 Motorsports, his first time at a Toyota, first time winning at Kansas Speedway. He's been in every one of the Cup races at Kansas, never won until Sunday. So Kurt Busch, that's pretty cool that he was able to win in the Air Jordan paint scheme. Kurt Busch's car number, by the way, is 45, which was team co-owner Michael Jordan's minor league baseball jersey number, if you don't remember that, or when he played for the Washington Wizards when he tried to do his NBA comeback. That was his jersey number, 45. And I need you to look up NBC Sports' Dustin Long article on the number 45 and the significance, as the team asked permission of Kyle Petty to use the number 45, as it had been Adam Petty's number, the natural number progression in the Petty family. And Kyle said, yeah, go for it. It's been longer that Adam's been gone than alive. Let's do that. So they were honored to carry the 45. So, of course, Lee Petty was 42, Richard 43, Kyle was 44, Adam was 45, and then Thad Moffitt, who is Kyle Petty's nephew, that's Rebecca Petty's son. He drives car number 46. So that's the whole numerology thing. I get into numbers. I know I get carried away. But I'm just saying, it's pretty cool that they asked permission. It's a great story on NBC Sports' Dustin Long. Look that one up. Saturday night's compelling truck race belonged to Zane Smith of Kansas. He flat out drove the field to win his 3rd race already this season. It was a career best night, though, for Seymour, Wisconsin's Ty Majeski. Were you guys watching? Ty was like 4th, 5th all night. There was about 2 or 3 other ThorSport trucks in and around him all night. When it came down to brass tacks, luckily, Zane Smith had a really fast truck because Ty was coming. Ty finished 2nd. Gave much of the credit to his Wisconsin proud crew chief, Joe Shear Jr., and as pointed out by short track racer Donnie Wilson on social after the race, the top 6 finishers in the truck race have extensive and current super late model racing experience. Zane Smith, Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, who tried to make the All-Snowball Derby again last year, Chandler Smith, Tristan Eckes, who won the Snowball Derby, and John Hunter Nemechek. So that's the top 6 in the truck race. So it's kind of cool to see that come to fruition. ARCA race on Saturday. While racing for the lead, Drew Dollar and Corey Heim got together. Dollar kind of got into Heim, and then you might have seen or heard the crew chief interview after the race from Billy Venerini. If you haven't, you might want to look that up for something that came out of Billy's mouth that probably can't say on the show. Nick Sanchez emerged as the best of the rest and cruised to his 3rd win in the last 6 ARCA races, including his breakthrough win last October at Kansas Speedway. This weekend, it's a night racing for all 3 NASCAR National Series on All-Star Race Weekend for the Cup Series at Texas Motor Speedway. Set your DVRs and support your local racing. I'd like to also remind you that you can turn the recyclable metals into cash today at Allied Resource Recovery. There are 3 locations are at ARR West Allis Recycling at 80th and Burnham, ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court, and National Salvage on South 44th Street across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. When we come back, we're talking more racing. We're talking about Alan Kowicki and the Kowicki Driver Development Program with one of the 7 finalists, Wisconsin's own Jacob Nottestad. He's next on the Racing Roundup Show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express Moving and Storage will improve your move. BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move. Statewide.
Vintage racing lives on at Road America. Experience the sights, sounds, and smells from motorsport's pioneering age in historic Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America's 2022 season offers numerous opportunities to watch vintage race cars take on the iconic 4-mile road course. The SVRA Vintage Festival weekend opens the 2022 season May 20th through 22nd. Get tickets today at roadamerica.com. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Road America, America's national park of speed.
427-1000 American Foundation. Cracks and leaks in your basement, have no fears. We've been fixing those things for over 60 years. Trust and dedication, that's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When we decided to get our crack-leaky basement done, I am so glad we called American Foundation. It gave us a sense of confidence, and it gave us our basement back.
And it was the right choice.
Thank you very much.
American Foundation Specialist has been fixing basements since 1947. Satisfied customers are the future at American. Call American for huge savings at
427-1000 American Foundation.
We're back on the Racing Roundup Show, racingroundupshow.com, so you can find us. Click on our Facebook page, like our show on Facebook, watch it on Facebook Live. We also have it on our website, right to YouTube. Looking forward to seeing it on MAV TV Plus as well on that cool app. If you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, choose Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty. List and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor like Matt that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Hire knowledge. Hire Matt Rapina. Choose Caldwell Banker, Home Sale Realty. Visit mattrapina.com, mattrapina.com. It's time for the Anderson's Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight. They're proud sponsors and supporters of Wisconsin racers Dennis Prunty, Bill Baylog, and Jason Gross. Try Anderson's Maple Syrup in your coffee or tea or on ice cream, or just like I did, take it with you with Pure Fuel Maple Energy on the go. Yep, I had me a Pure Fuel packet right before he came on the show. Can you tell? I'm excited to be here. That's good stuff. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer, andersonsmaplesyrup.com. Anderson's, pure quality since 1928. We now welcome in a gentleman who's done a whole lot of winning, and now he's got the national spotlight on him as a Kawicki driver development driver. He brought his dad with him, brought some T-shirts and hats to give away. Let's give a nice hand to Jacob, not his dad. Jacob, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me on. Awesome crowd here tonight at Paulie's.
Welcome back to the show. You were telling me before you got here that we had another NASCAR driver on before you got on. Now we have Chris Windham on. This is kind of a big deal for us to have you on. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of big names here.
You're making a name for yourself. You applied for the Kawicki Driver Development Program, and that process alone takes a while. You've got to do interviews. You had to show them your racing resume. You've got to do all sorts of things. How did that feeling overcome you as they called you and said, hey, it's Racing America. Jacob, you're one of the 7. What was that feeling like?
It was unreal, unlike anything I felt before. Yeah, we've been trying out for this Kawicki program last 3-4 years now, and I really thought we had a good shot a couple years ago, and was really disappointed we didn't. So we put our heads down, we kept digging. We did a lot last year. We got 2 track records and won our first super late model race at Jefferson in our own car, which really turned some heads, I think. And I was super proud to be able to get the call and represent Allen this year.
You jumped into Johnny D super late once as well. I'm thinking that whole thought process had to be part of why and how you said, I really need to make this effort. Super late seemed to be the level that gets chosen for the Kawicki driver. But was that already your plan? The KDDP was part of it, but you also were thinking about progressing to more super late stuff?
Yeah, for sure. I think once we got some seat time with the Johnny D car and I ended up winning, that really was a huge confidence booster for me and our team to think that we can compete even with a lower budget than the rest of them. It's just awesome to be able to compete with these guys in the super late model division.
Jacob Nottestad joining us again, a Kowicki Driver Development Driver. You can find him out at that program at Kowicki DDP on Twitter, or KDDP hashtag. You can follow along. It's a big deal. Ty Majeski's won the Cup. Alex Prunty's won the Cup. It's since 2015. It's been a big deal for Wisconsin drivers to be represented. You're one of them. What things go along with being the Kowicki Driver Development Driver that you have to take with you to the track or gain exposure and gather points, if you will, on and off the racetrack?
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with our media outreach and things like that. One thing that we've been doing is I'm helping young Bandolero kids at Jefferson when they started. That was my rookie year in late model, and they only had like 3-4 cars, and now they got 30-something this year. So it's awesome to help all those little kids get a lot of seat time and watch them progress.
So I saw you first in Legends, kick and tail. Then I saw you in late models winning championships and featured like 6 of them, or 7 or whatever it was at Slinger. And now you're jumping into the super late models. Is this an all-new progression? Like every time you leave a series, you kind of say, okay, I need a new car. Legends car obviously won't work on big tracks, but late model on up. What have you guys done to prepare for the super late progression?
We've done a few things. Same car that we ran as our limited last year.
Okay.
So just a few minor updates to make it more of a super late model legal. A few minor tweaks, but nothing major. So we're sticking with the basics, conventional stuff. And I was really impressed with our speed at Slinger and Kaukauna. We were able to qualify in the top 10 and third at Kaukauna out of over 30 cars. So really, really glad we have good speed, but we just got to find a little bit more in the race.
Brag some more about what you do to get this car ready. I think you were actually called, you were at work on a vehicle when you got the call from the finalists folks for the Kowicki Driver Development. You were like in the cab of a work truck. So there's a lot of work you do outside of the race car. Tell us how that all works in a given week, the balance of what you do and the guys and gals helping you on your race car.
Yeah, it's a balance for sure. A lot of work between my day job. I work 5, sometimes 6 days a week, 9-10-hour days. So to come home at the shop every night or a couple nights a week to get to prepare for the next week is a lot of work for sure, and I'm glad we're able to do it.
Who does that with you? Is it shop night or is every night shop night?
Shop night's usually Wednesday night, along with a couple here and there through the week, depending on how the week before there goes. My dad's a huge part of it. Scott, my spotter, Brent, Travis, and Don, and Robert, and all those guys in the shop that come help. They're a huge help for sure.
What's your schedule going to be this year, and did it change once you became a KDDP driver?
Yeah, our original schedule was kind of up in the air. We weren't really sure. So once we were listed as a KDB finalist, we decided to go ahead and run the Elite 8 series at Slinger, which will be super fun. I enjoy that track a lot. And then we're going to run some select Tundra events, and then the Midwest Tour as well, which we ran the Slinger opener, which was also a Midwest Tour race, and we'll be back at Jefferson Saturday the 28th, and then Slinger the next day on Sunday.
So are you looking at your chops to go to Jefferson because that is your home track? You've won a ton of races there no matter what you've driven. How excited are you for the Midwest Tour to go there on Saturday Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We definitely have high hopes. We ran the Tundra Series last year and won by a pretty good margin there, so it was awesome. I hope that we can stick with our same deal that we ran there and be able to hopefully get another win there.
I'm sure you're tempted by technology. You're probably walking by cars, looking at them going, man, that front-end pickup point's a whole lot different than mine. How and where have you found assistance? Luke Fenhouse, for example, last year did a great job. Didn't win a lot of races, but he also won the Kowicki Cup. Have you talked to him or other drivers about how to go about that balance of performance and what you can do with what you have? Because I don't think he had the latest, greatest stuff either.
Yeah, I talked to Luke quite a bit over the course of last year and a little bit this year. His crew chief, Tom Ress, is super smart, so I've asked him a few questions about what gears to run, what kind of shocks and springs they run. They obviously run a little bit different with the bump stops and stuff, as we don't do that. We just run the conventional stuff, so a little bit different there, but definitely a few basic things that will help you find speed.
So how do you contribute? Do you have a comfort you want to feel in the car? Do you want that nose to be sealed off? What's your primary focus when you get the chance to get behind the wheel and make changes during pit stops or practices?
Yeah, during practice, we always like to get the front end sealed on the ground right away. The cross member on the ground, and then we tweak from there based on if it's tight or loose or what I feel, and then focus on the long race setup for sure. After 5-10 laps, is it getting better? Is it getting worse? Be able to fine tune it,
Talking to Jacob Nottestad here on the Racing Roundup Show. You got a lot of great supporters. You mentioned your dad and the crew guys. Who else helps Jacob Nottestad go racing on a given weekend?
Yeah, I have a lot of awesome sponsors to thank. Obviously, wouldn't be possible without all of them. Kearns Motor Car Company, KDDP for sure this year, Hogan Farms, Wagner Construction, Quality Harvesting, Wolf Storage, Paradigm, JR Photography, Bill Brumman, Mima, Lundgren Sign, Lake Ripley Lanes, Finest Construction, TBE Equipment, Badger Detail Service, BCC Racing, Wilkinson's Auction, and Utica Var. A few new ones this year.
That's a lot of people, and they sponsor some other racers, so you got to perform. Otherwise, they're going to say, "Yeah, we got enough. Hans has enough people at Utica Bar. We're good. The Hogan brothers got enough people. They're sponsoring the farm. No, it's cool. You got these guys."
Yeah, absolutely. Hogan Farms for sure. They're a huge supporter of short track racing between Johnson, me, Stenjum. I mean, he knows how to pick some good drivers, so I'm glad I'm in that good company.
Yeah, you mentioned Stenjum. We've had Riley on the show as well. He's a Kowicki Driver Development finalist as well. When you guys lock horns and go at it on the racetrack, I know you guys are competitive. Do you have to look what he's doing? You're like, oh man, if I beat him tonight, that's like 200 points for the total deal. Or is it a friendly thing? How does it go about? Because you probably see each other a lot this season, won't you?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty competitive for sure. You know, it's always nice to one-up them when you can. You know, it's a little extra incentive when you go to the racetrack. You know, you got one guy to beat for sure. You're ultimately trying to get the win, but if you don't, you got one guy to beat.
Jacob Nottestad, where can we find you on social channels so we can follow along with what you're doing in racing?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's jnottestad97 at gmail.com if you want my email, and then Jacob Nottestad Racing at Facebook.
And you mentioned the 28th. That's next Saturday. Are you going to be anywhere this weekend?
No, this weekend we're off. Yeah.
All right. And then is your schedule posted anywhere so people can kind of try you? Because we get quite a few people watching from all over the place.
Yeah, our schedule's on Facebook. It's I think it's right on our main page, so you can find it pretty easily.
And you're pretty stoked. I'm guessing you got everything ready. You got everything squared away. Are you hoping to add anything to the program, I guess, as we kind of wrap things up here? Is it like if we do this, this, and this, we're going to get that as maybe it's a pit cart or another spare chassis or wheels? I mean, is it to the point where this family team is going to be, hoping to do more racing this year?
Yeah, we might add a few more on the schedule. July is pretty open. We might go to Norway for the Tundra race or see if there's any other super late model races around here to run.
Go chase it. Anybody else you want to thank before we turn you loose here? It's been a lot of fun spending a few minutes with you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody having me on the show.
All right, Jacob Nottestad joining us here on the program. Give him a hand. Thanks for coming down with your dad and bringing the cool stuff. We've got a Wagner Automotive Research T-shirt. We've got some coupons here, 25% off Amazon products from H Performance, one of your sponsors. So thanks for giving those to us, and it's really been a lot of fun getting to chat with you. I know that you got some people here that want to talk to you more about it. Our friend Marilyn Shaw is here, and Marilyn got to know Alan when he was at your tow truck company. Marilyn and her husband Grant owned the tow truck company that Alan's first shop was in, so she's here hanging out. Said, I need to talk to Jacob. I got to find out more about what he's doing. So it's a great way to join the racing crowd and interact with folks, and it's really cool to have you here tonight. Thank you.
I appreciate it, Jim.
Jacob Nottestad joining us on the show. Make sure you sign our backdrop, please. The Bob Trado sign right our backdrop. All the guests sign that, and he's going to be here for a few more minutes, so if you want to come on down, get his autograph, hang out with Jacob, he's here. We're here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. This is the Racing Roundup Show. We got a lot more to talk about. We've got some American Super Cup cars outside, and not one, but two awesome modified drivers. They brought their cars to their front door. Polly's, they'll be on the Racing Roundup Show. Charlie Cincinnati and Chris Carlson are also going to be on the program as well. Stick around. We've got a lot more to chat about on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at No Right Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. No Right Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
This is America's longest-running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500 and NASCAR at the track. You see him on MAV TV's live coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl and the ARCA Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being part of our program here on May 17th. Looking forward to having you join us on a Tuesday night. Next Tuesday, we're on the road. We're doing a remote show next Tuesday. We're not here at Polly's next Tuesday. We're going to be at Bobby's Bar, 14735 West Lisbon Avenue in Brookfield, not far from Milwaukee Tools headquarters. So come on down and join the racing crowd. That information's on our website, racingroundupshow.com. Our first DeAngelis Construction Road Show is next Tuesday. This portion of tonight's show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon dealer, has in-stock inventory, and can customize your ride. Available right now on their Facebook page. Check it out, BMRE Electric Carts Company. The biggest Wisconsin Sprint Car Weekend of the year is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 20, 21, and 22, as the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Series welcomes the Tezos All-Stars Circuit of Champions for a traditional co-sanctioned triple-header Sprintacular. Advance tickets are available now for all three events this Friday night at Wilmot Raceway, Saturday, Sheboygan County Fairgrounds, and Plymouth Dirt Track, and Sunday night, May 22nd, at the historic Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie. It's an all-open-wheel weekend, a true Sprintacular. Friday, the Autometer Wisconsin Wingless Sprints and IRA Lightning Sprints support the Wilmot event. Saturday, support comes to the MSA Plymouth 360 Sprints. And Sunday has the Badger Midgets racing with the All-Stars and IRA at Angel Park. Visit IRAsprints.com now to get dialed in on this huge IRA All-Stars Challenge this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. We now welcome in Dean Strom, who's done his fair share of public address announcing at NASCAR tracks. And I talked about going to Kansas. I know, Dean, you've got a busy schedule with Michigan and Watkins Glen upcoming, but you and I have to kind of live and breathe this whole NASCAR thing because we like doing the track PA thing. You told me before we came on, like, hey, Jim, I got a story for you. It's kind of an extension of the NASCAR segment.
Yeah, I heard you doing the 45 story, about the numerology and 45 with Kurt Busch driving the 45 for Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Jordan's baseball number.
Yep.
I think it was as well.
The Birmingham Barons.
I think he might have got in about the White Sox too, didn't he?
He got a sniff in spring training.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm doing I did a Q&A with Kurt Busch at Richmond, and he told a story about Michael Jordan, and I thought about this story when I saw that Kurt Busch was the winner on Sunday. So, before Daytona, Kurt Busch is hanging out with his car owner, Michael Jordan.
Okay.
He kept calling him, yes, sir, yes, sir. Jordan's like, you can call me Michael. Yes, sir, Mr. Jordan. So he went, Kurt Busch, when he knew he was going to drive for Michael Jordan, went and bought a rookie card. a Michael Jordan rookie card, not signed. Paid a lot of money for it. He wouldn't say how much he paid for it, but he paid a lot of money for this. So they're before Daytona, they're hanging around with the motor coach, and Kurt Busch says, "Mr. Jordan, sir, would you please sign this for me?" Jordan says, "Dude, you paid a lot of money for this. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just sign this for me." So he signed it, went to give it back to Kurt Busch, and Kurt said, "No, you keep it. And when I win my first race, then I'll get it back."
Wow.
So kind of Kurt had a little skin in the game. He wanted that card back.
And I believe Kurt said in post-race comments that he is actually scheduled to be with MJ at a Monster Energy golf outing this week.
Maybe he'll get the card back.
So
then.
It's kind of a good thing that they won before he had to go golfing with him. Because Michael, I don't know if you guys know this, but Michael Jordan has probably spent more time and kajing on a golf course betting and having fun with people. I heard he's really good at it, at every aspect of it. So with Kurt winning, that's a whole lot of relief for us racing people that he won't be giving Kurt a hard time for 18 holes straight.
All right. Should we go to short track racing now? Yep. Bonafide Security Solutions brings you the short track report. For camera and alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, gun safes, it's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online, bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide, they protect what you value. Brandon Welty built a brand new midget car to campaign at his home track, Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie. In the track's season opener, the former Badger Midget Series champ rolled into victory lane with that brand new ride. Kurt Davis stood atop his tail tank in celebration after winning the MSA 360 Sprints feature. Parker Jones won the Legends feature over recent show guest Eric Bloomer. CK Contractors, LLC.com brings us the happenings at Wilmot Raceway. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation, retention, pond building, and more. We had Turk Letizia on the show last week talking about the Diamond 44 Dirt Kings Tour race Sunday night at Wilmot Raceway. It was canceled. They were just about ready to roll the track, or I should say they had opened the grandstands when the first showers came through. Then they fixed the track, got it back into shape, and then more showers came in. So that race unfortunately did get canceled. Tickets and pit passes will be honored at the September 10th Dirt Kings Tour race at Wilmot Raceway. That's a race, of course, a tribute race for our friend Jimmy Wildman Watson. This Friday night, May 20th, the annual IRA All-Star Sprints Challenge at Wilmot Raceway. You heard it before. It includes Lightning Sprints, Wisconsin Wingless Sprints. Tickets can be purchased right now or online, WilmotRaceway.com. Friday night, A.J. Diemel was crowned King of the Tom Studi Memorial Race at Red Cedar Speedway in the Wabam Dirt Kings Late Model Tour's first visit to Red Cedar. Matthew Pate, Menominee Falls, just nipped Diamond Bill Tandetsky to win the UMA Asphalt Modified feature Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park.
Diamond led all but the last quarter of a lap. You got in the traffic. Remember he did on DellsRacewayPark.com Diamond Bill, you're that close. I know.
Mike Litchfield won again after starting 14th in the 60-lap Pro Late Model feature. Morgan Shishel, Hunter Stenson finished second and third. Josh Mazer captured the win in the Bandits 20-lap main. The Slide Society Drifters invade Dells Raceway Park this weekend on the huge Dells Auto Motion Car Show weekend. Details can be found there, DellsRacewayPark.com. Rain washed out Friday night action, Madison International Speedway. This coming Friday night is their NASCAR Weekly Racing Series opener. Late models, round one of the Hobby Stock Challenge on the card. Adult admission Friday night at Madison, just $10. Find all the details there, masracing.com. Tom Behrens outdueled Jeff Holtz, 50-lap Pro Late Model main event Sunday afternoon at the Slinger Super Speedway to capture his first career feature victory in that division. The win was extra special for Tom as he paid tribute to his mom, who passed away a little bit more than a month ago after a courageous battle with cancer. Dale Nottestead took the late model feature win at Jefferson Speedway. Travis Aarons made it 2 for 2, 360 sprint action at the Plymouth Dirt Track. While our friend Joe Bongiorno, we've had him on the show a couple of times before.
Yes, we have. Since he raced karts at Badger with the Badger Kart Club,
He stepped up to the dirt late models behind Mike Formella's potent number 55. Saturday night at Plymouth, he scored his first dirt late model feature win, so that was pretty cool indeed. And Jim, speaking of dirt late models, they hosted an Illinois Sprint Week this past week. 4 nights, 4 tracks, 4 different winners, Brandon.
They're late models, right?
They're late models.
Yeah.
Where'd they go to? Farmer City, Spoon River, Lincoln, and then they finished it up at Fairbury. 4 different tracks. Brandon Shepard, Dennis Erb Jr., Tyler Erb, and Bobby Pierce, the 4 winners there. That Farmer City race, Bobby Pierce.
Yeah.
You got to check out the highlights on that one. Man,
Bonkers good?
Oh, Bonkers good.
All right, good.
Yeah, amazing.
Good. Speaking of amazing, I like the segue you left me there, Dean. Thanks for being part of this. Stick around. This is the short track segment we all like to talk about with a guest or two. We now have a driver that's sitting here with us. He's won a championship before. He's also raced in a bunch of different races. He knows what it's like to win, and he's back behind the wheel of his number 1 modified that's right out front getting a parking ticket here at Polly's Pub and Eatery. Let's welcome in Charlie Cincinnati. Charlie, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I think I was kidding about the policeman. The last time a cop was here, actually, he was writing a ticket for the guy, Johnny Safra, loading up Alan Kowicki's Underbird before it went off to the museum. So he was actually getting pulled over. But your car's sitting right out front. How excited are you to be back behind the wheel? It took a long time, you guys get this squared away, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. We're actually super excited. My son's now 2.5, so he's kind of more active into the whole racing thing and knowing what we're doing. And he constantly reminds me it's Daniel's car. I just drive it. So
I think he's got some food now, too.
Yeah, so now he's a little bit happy.
His name's on it. I saw pictures of it. Daniel's name's nice and big on there. That's cool that you race with him in mind as well. You're like, hey, we got time. We're going to do this now. What kind of car did you end up getting, and where are you going to race it?
We got a 2022 Slick chassis from Russ Reinwald. We're going to start racing. We raced last week at 141. On the weekends we don't have him. We're going to try to race 2-3 nights a week just to get some seat time. These modifieds are so temperamental. You got to try and get as much seat time as you can to try and get comfortable in them. There's so much class in it. It's insane. You
won with a Grand National. You had a choice of vehicles. What drew you to the modifieds? Was it the number of tracks that you get to run with that current configuration?
Yeah, just IMCA in general. There's so many tracks. You can go to different states, and just how they hike up, and they have such an attitude to them that it was drawing to me. And so I said, well, let's try it. And when I built my first car, or bought my first car, I broke my foot, so that only lasted 2 races. And then we took off, had our son, focused on business, and also got into some stuff by myself to do. And then, we kind of just said, you know what, let's go back at it, and here we are.
Who'd you bring with you tonight? You brought a bunch of folks. The old crew back together, so new people, a mix? What's going on here?
Yeah, mostly day one people. So we got Mom, my sister Steph, Josh, Wojo, Jimmy, Audrey, mostly the same people. We're excited to get back to it. It's kind of cool. Me and Josh started working together. We didn't work too well together at the beginning. We were both younger, I guess you can say. But now when you're mature, Josh has actually been helping me sipe and groove tires and stuff like that. So we try to help each other out. Our garages are just right across the grass from each other, so it's not much to just walk across and help each other out. But it's fun to just be back together, just a short little group that we have, but it's tight-knitted, and I think we're going to go places.
When it comes to racing schedules, work is obviously paramount. You guys are working your brains out at NNS Towing. You guys do a great job, especially the first day where cars' air conditioning don't work, or the first snowstorm. Maybe we always think about, Charlie's got to work a 28-hour day. All that balance. I mean, when it gets to your schedule, do you know what your schedule will be for this weekend and next weekend, or are you guys kind of just floating with the plan of, hey, 141, and we'll see what else pops up?
So we kind of just floating right now. We're just trying to stick to 141 for right now. If we can get some days that we can get off early, we'll sneak another racetrack in there. Right now we got a pretty good group of guys working for us. So, I went there this morning. Woj, he's my number 1 guy. I can't thank him enough. He's got a firefighter job, and he works straight 24s, and right when he gets off, he comes from Watertown down to here to start wrenching on my car. So without him, this probably really wouldn't be possible. But, I actually went to work today, and my sister's like, nope, we got this. Go back home and help Woj on the car. So
and you get it all prettied up just for us. That's kind of cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what we did. So we went back and wrenched on it and stuff like that, and like you said, sometimes if guys call in, that's now your responsibility to you guys stay late, So we try to work around as much as we can and as best as we can to planning, but sometimes planning isn't the best.
So Jim mentioned N&S Towing, and it is just a couple of blocks from here. Did you drive the car here? I think the race car. I think you have in the past, right?
Yeah. So every time, Greg loves making sure that the car's driven. So we actually moved our shop to. My mom's got a 3-car detached garage. There was nothing in it when she bought the house. So I asked her if I stuck the money in if we could just make it my new race shop. So we did. So it's actually in Greenfield now.
That'd be a long drive.
A longer drive.
Yeah.
Manage though, right?
Yep.
You manage.
For Greg and not being around 3 years, I said, I guess we got to bring it down to the shop and drive it.
So, Charlie, I got to tell you, we've done this show for a long time. We used to host this show in Waukesha at a banquet hall off of 164 on Springdale Road. And our old friend Ed Ledger had a car dealership on 59th and National. Drove a Hales Wales car. He drove it on the freeway from 59th and National to the show. And we had a banquet hall you could move in on this ramp. You had cars inside at the stage at this banquet hall. And when he got there, he's sweating profusely. And I was like, what happened, Ed? He's like, I just need a minute. I said, what do you mean? He said, the car's got to cool down a little bit before we roll her in here. So what'd you drive it here? He said, yeah, I got a lot of people looking at me, but I just kind of kept her in the shoulder and just kind of motored on through. So I like to talk about that like once every 5 years because I know it's probably super illegal. But when you hear rolling that car in, I'm like, oh, Charlie's here. I heard you idling into your spot out front. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to drive it that far distance, but they'll hold the title for that, I think, for a long time.
It's a beautiful race car. You mentioned it's a new slick chassis. What made you decide on that chassis among the choices you had?
We worked with Russ with shocks and stuff like that in our Grand National, and he was a big help. And, me and Josh bounced ideas off of each other and, we try and fine-tune everything. But what led me to a slick chassis is Russ is not selfish, especially at the track on Saturday. He came over before we went out for the B main, and he wanted to make sure that how did the car feel? What do you think you can do? And so he just has tech support, and he's a great guy overall. So I just want to make sure I try to stay loyal to people that stay loyal to me. So I'm not a huge guy in that there's these chassis out here that cost $50,000 as a roller, and I'm a firm believer if you can get a car to work, you can get a car to work. It doesn't matter what chassis you have. If you can find the right setup, they'll work. So with a good group of guys and tight-knitted people, that's where I like to stay, and I think that's what slick is. And we're going to see where we go with it, and we got to adapt as a driver. I think this is the biggest part.
It's going to be a process, but I'm sure it was a quick set of phone calls. Looks like you got a lot of same folks back on your car for sponsorship. That's got to be comforting as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, N&S Towing's the biggest one. My dad had probably, I think, 8 Hales wheels at Hales Corner, so we were always there. So N&S Towing, we have Slick Chassis, Performance Shock Services, which is another brand of Slick. CNS Performance, Auto Scrap Recyclers, TD Graphics. We got Snap-on Tools, Source Services. So most of the same guys, but a couple new ones.
Last question about your son Daniel. It's his car. His name's on it. He's been to the track with you one time already?
Yep.
What do you guys now have to pack for him going to the second race with this young guy and all the energy he has?
The ambulance. He was great. He was by my sister the whole time, and he watched, and Stephanie was like, he's saying, go, Daddy, go. So then we went to the B main, and Donnie, Source was up right after us. So we parked the car, and I changed quick. I ran down to go sit with him. And then we watched Donnie's race, and I was like, probably should get some food. So I went to go grab food. We came back, and he was messing with my niece, Kelsey. Well, he tripped over his feet and landed face first on the step. So we went to ambulance, and then we went to hospital. So
wow,
yeah, it wasn't the best, but
so do we have everybody sponsored by a bubble wrap company? Anyone? Anyone? Boyna Bubble.
But he's doing good, and it's just insane how smart these kids are, and he knows to stop and watch for cars and stuff like that. So he was really well, and I think it's going to be exciting. Once we pull up here, the little car's outside.
Oh, okay.
He walks right up to there and stands by them. So
nice.
I think I'm in trouble, but.
Yeah, the American Super Cup brothers are here. Matt and Michael Rose, they're going to be on the show in a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure he's like, hey, Dad, this is my size. It's half the size of let me in this thing, right?
Yeah, no, he definitely was. And then I looked in there, and their seats are leaned back, and I've never seen that before, so I wonder how things are to drive.
Well, we're going to find out in our next segment. How about I say for Charlie Cincinnati joining us on the show? Charlie, thanks a bunch.
Thank you, guys.
Matter of fact, we're going to talk to more modifieds with Chris Carlson. Then we're coming back with the Rose brothers as well. Lots to come on the show. Charlie, thanks for bringing a great group of folks with you as well. It's been a treat to watch you race this Saturday at 141 Speedway in Francis Creek. A lot of fun things to chat about. Make sure you support what they do. He mentioned a bunch of sponsors. Support those racers that make this show possible, and Charlie Cincinnati and others to go racing. We're back with a driver who won the championship last year at Wilmot Raceway in the modifieds. He's now searching for races to cash in the big checks around the area, not just at one place. We'll talk to Chris Carlson next on our Racing Roundup show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair. From oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive, 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln in West Dallas.
D&H Sales and Service is Sheboygan County's largest steel and outdoor power equipment dealer. Since 2003, owner Brad Dahmer and D&H Sales and Service strives to offer you the best brands with leading manufacturers such as Aaron's, Gravely, Ferris, Simplicity, Snapper, Steel, Wright, and Toro. Each brand is backed by a stocked parts department and the highest level of customer service. All of our inventory is online at SheboyganPowerCenter.com, and when you buy from D&H, you will be shown how to safely operate your ready-to-use equipment. We have over 80 feet of steel display, and we have over 75 pieces of steel equipment in stock. D&H is Sheboygan County's only Briggs & Stratton Diamond dealer with a master service technician and factory-trained service department. D&H Sales and Service is conveniently located off of I-43 in Sheboygan and is an authorized service and warranty center for most brands on the market. We'll service almost any brand of small engine equipment. Call us for details at 920-458-1865. D&H Sales and Service also offers pickup and delivery to Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and Ozaukee counties. Search D&H Sales and Service on Facebook or log on to SheboyganPowerCenter.com today.
Yes, it is. It's a Tuesday night. We're having a ball here on Racing Roundup. The Racing Roundup show has been amazing. We've done it since 1900, it feels like. 38 years and counting. Love having the fact that we're here at Pauley's for over a dozen years. They've got a Brewer shuttle going. Every Brewers home game, shuttle. Every Bucks game that happened this year, home game, they had a shuttle to that too. past tense. But if you want to go to Brewers games, come here to Polly's, save a bunch of hassle on the parking, grab a couple of pops, get down to the game. They'll bring you right back here to Polly's. It's really convenient. And looking forward to a bunch of folks here tonight are doing just that, taking the shuttle to the Milwaukee Brewers game. Hey, next week, Tuesday, we're on remote. Our first DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow will include John D. Piazza and his racing friends at Bobby's Bar. The address again, 14735 West Lisbon Road in Brookfield. It's on our website, racingroundupshow.com. Click the schedule page. On display will be some race cars, including Dave McCardle's Super Late Model, some drag racing cars as well. Charlie will be there from Autotrans Design. It's our annual visit with TJ Zizzo, who drives an NHRA Top Fuel drag car. He'll be there with us as well. Spread the word. Join the racing crowd next Tuesday, May 24th, at Bobby's Bar in Brookfield. It's on our schedule page, racingroundupshow.com. I'd also like to remind you the Midwest Truck Series is back in action this Saturday night at State Park Speedway in Wausau. It's the track season opener with super late models and support divisions on the schedule. The Midwest Truck Series is supported by Pathfinder Chassis and Wares Machine. Check it out at MidwestTruckSeries.com. And now let's check in on the video with our friend who went to the Tundra Series opener at Wisconsin International Raceway, Bill Holland.
Raceway, where the Tundra Super Late Model Series is here to kick off the 2022 season. It's opening day for both the Tundra Stars and Cars and WIR. And it's going to be a big day. More than 30 super late models in the pits, more than $3,000 on the line for the winner, racing in memory of longtime Northeastern Wisconsin favorite Roger Regath.
Roger was a competitive guy. He went to the racetrack. He was going to win the race. That was in his mind, and super competitive. And, a good wheelman.
Five-time red, white, and blue state championship winner Lowell Bennett is one of the few active drivers at WIR who raced with Roger Regath on Northeastern Wisconsin's short tracks.
I ran with a bear. My dad did, and I did. You figure I started in 1976, so, the first year it was pretty tough. I didn't make much for features the first year other than at Luxembourg, but the second year, 1977, I was making features. So, I was racing with Roger DeBear and JJ and, Roger Paul.
More than 30 super late models are in the pits, led by defending Tundra Series champion Riley Stengen.
We're a small family team. We've got one super late, and then we've got another limited late at home. We don't really have the luxury running the optimum package everywhere that some of these teams do with motor combinations and things like that. So to be able to win a championship in a traveling super late model series, really in our first year chasing a championship in a super late, was really surreal.
Defending race champion Casey Johnson came up 3 points short in his bid for a fifth Tundra championship last year. Johnson's drive for 5 in Tundra begins today.
When Tundra first started, we just noticed that it went to a lot of the ARCA Midwest Tour races, and then so we decided we'd just use these races to prepare for that. Well, then we started noticing the competition level was just getting stronger and stronger, and next thing you know, it's harder to compete in this than that, and so now you just got 2 great premier series in the Midwest, and it puts on a heck of a show.
In qualifying, it's 5-time WIR champion Jeff Van Oudenhoven with the fastest lap. That honor even more meaningful today.
Roger Regath and my family went way back. My dad ran USAC back in the day, IMCA stock cars, and it's a great loss. It's another legend gone. I drove for Roger and his son Matt Maynard, and so it kind of hit home. We're all getting older, and but I'll tell you what, we really appreciate all the great memories that he gave us.
For the first time in a quarter century, a red number 6 super late model is on the track at WIR. This car a tribute to the late Jim Poggle, lost in a qualifying crash in 1997. Former track champion Andy Monday behind the wheel.
Jim was my hero growing up. My dad was on his team. He's a good friend of a lot of people we're really close with, and coming up on the 25-year anniversary, we definitely wanted to do something special for him to remember Jim.
Coming to the green, it's 2-time Rockford Speedway National Short Track champion Alex Prunty in the 11 and Jordan DeVoy in the 38. DeVoy won the last 2 Tundra events last season. Early on, trouble for Prunty in turn 2, and DeVoy spins in turn 4. This will bring out the caution. Fast qualifier Jeff Van Oudenhoven has made his way to the front, leading the 44 of Justin Mondyke, and a spin behind the leaders. Three-time Tundra Series champ Dalton Zaire and Grant Griesbach in the 17 involved. Up front, it's Van Oudenhoven. Casey Johnson now second. Jesse Oudenhoven in the 1 and Justin Mondijk's 44. Johnson taking over the lead. The 4-time Tundra champ is a past champion here at WIR, both in the weekly points race and in the Red, White, and Blue State Championship Series. Jordan Devoy trying to battle his way back through the field in the 38, but he's into the wall coming out of turn 4, trying to save it in the dogleg, but the quest to win 3 straight Tundra features just came to an end. Justin Mondijk's won more super late model features than anyone in Wisconsin the past 2 seasons. He is strong in second, but Casey Johnson is the man today. Johnson winning the Tundra opener at WIR for the 2nd year in a row.
Anytime you can win a memorial race, I mean, it's always dedicated to a short track racer that meant a lot to whether it's the track or the whole Midwest, and Kaukauna is just full of short track heroes, so to be able to win a memorial race is really special.
For the Tundra drivers, they have a few weeks off. The next series event at Marshfield Motor Speedway in June. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who makes our program possible. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
By your car, as a matter of fact. Thank you, Bill Holland, for that report. Next, our guest, we're just talking to a little bit here. He's been on our program for decades. He's been behind the wheel of a race car, and he won his most recent championship last year at Wilmot Raceway. Let's welcome in the 2021 Modified Champ from that racetrack as he's racing again in a Modified that's sitting right up here, Paulies. How about a big hand for Chris Carlson? Chris, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me, Jim. Hey, I just got to mention one thing real quick. Have you ever had the nachos here?
I have not.
They are awesome.
They used to be half-order nachos the size of this helmet. Are they any different size now?
Oh, no, it's about that big. You got to split them with somebody, but man, they're pretty good.
Spot on. I like the food reviews here at Paulies.
There you go.
Rate them on Yelp as well. Make sure that they know what's going on. You've been racing. You've been spicing things up. Last year you won a championship. This year you said, I think I'm going to try something a little different. What does the Chris Carlson racing calendar include this year, Chris?
So we built a new car over the winter. So we took a lot of the stuff that we learned from last season, and we built a completely different car from the ground up. And we took a lot of stuff from Lee Soames with PF Flyer. But it was really a creation between Chuck Berry and I, which was pretty awesome. So we spent a lot of time coming up with ideas and doing things, and it's a completely different car. So if you look at the front end, it's not anything like we've had before. And we went to Beaver Dam a couple weeks ago, and it was such a relief that it went out on the track and we were in the ballpark. So that took a big weight off of my shoulders because I was a little bit worried about
that. Much different. That's a big step.
Yeah, we the front end stuff is so important, and if the car doesn't turn, that's where all the technology is just getting the car to turn. And we spent a lot of time focusing on that. Last year, we spent a lot of time focusing on front end geometry. Every week we'd go out, we'd change a little bit, but we were always in the ballpark last year, and we had an awesome race car last year. Scott Barnhart's got our car from last year, and I think he's going to have a lot of success with it. So we took a lot of the geometry off of that, but we refined some things and changed it around. But it's a completely different car this season, and so far, I mean, we finished 6th this last weekend. I made the fatal mistake of sticking some old tires on. You know, they're having some issues with tires this season, getting new tires on the car, and we decided to put some old ones on, and I think it kind of bit us a little bit.
Okay. And you were going to run Sunday night at Wilmot Raceway with the Dirt Kings, right?
Yeah, we've been soggy pretty much all season.
Yeah.
This has been a pretty bad spring for everybody. Just cold and rainy and windy, and it just hasn't been that enjoyable. And it really, we were literally looking forward to going and practicing a bunch just to see how this was going to work and the changes that we made, and we just haven't had the opportunity because every track's been underneath water all season.
It's about time it starts drying out, and when it does start drying out, where are you focused next, whether it be this week or in 2 weeks' time? What's the schedule for the near future for you, Chris?
I think we're going to bomb around between Beaver Dam, 141, Shawano, maybe hit some other tracks we haven't hit before, maybe Luxembourg. We were just looking at a schedule or something up in Sturgeon Bay that we might go to in a couple weeks. And then we're going to maybe travel out to Iowa and just try to see where we are compared to some of the guys out there. But what we did find out is there's some pretty fast cars at Beaver Dam, and we got some work to do to catch up to those guys.
When it comes to racing a modified, is it I asked Charlie about the platform, the availability of racing at different racetracks, but you're saying it's going to be tough just about everywhere, and you're learning a brand new car together. Is this design going to be something you guys want to market as a chassis? Or are you guys out there pushing the idea that you can build chassis like anybody else, or is it a matter of just kind of finding out where you're at. What would be the
approach?
approach?
Be kind of a one-off car, I think,
Okay.
just because of the changes that we made. If Lee wants to do something with it, that's up to him. But we just wanted to see where we had some ideas from last year, and we just wanted to try it out. And I actually think I went a little bit too far with some stuff, and I'm having to back it off just a little bit because I think we made some stuff that was a little bit too good in the front end. And what I really regret is 20 years ago not focusing on front end stuff, because that is where it is at. And I think that with my racing career, if we would have been focusing on the front end stuff instead of the rear end stuff, I think we would have been much better off through my career.
Hang on, Chris Carlson. It's been a while since you've been on this show. You said 1995 was your first appearance. You've won races. You've won championships in a crate late model, and a dirt late model, and a modifieds. You've been doing a lot of great work there. You got the paint scheme back. The Carlson colors are flying again with that gold on that race car. That's looking distinctive and sharp again. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. My dad always had some cool-looking race cars, especially the Mustangs, and we've tried to do that the last couple years. And I wish I would have done this paint scheme or last year's paint scheme right from the beginning and had that same thing. You know, it's funny when you look at like dirt late model racing, which is what I'm familiar with the most. Is you look at the Billy Moyers and the Scott Bloomquists and Buck Simmons and all of those guys. When you see that number in a picture, you know exactly who that guy is.
Yep.
And we've changed our our colors over the seasons. We always had green and purple cars, but man, now I kind of wish that we would have kind of kept the same color scheme through all the years.
We've got a junior announcer wannabe here. Daniel's up here on the stage. He's ready to go. Hi, Daniel. Good to see you. You can't see him at home, but Daniel's ready to do some talking. That's Charlie Cincinnati's son.
Charlie needs to take little trucks with him. That's the key.
Deal. There you go.
That's the key. Let him play in the dirt.
Nothing wrong with that. We all did that, haven't we? Come on now. I also noticed one more thing I want to bring up with you, Chris. March 2nd, before costs went up, you listed parts and equipment that you used to go racing. How much oil you use, how much fuel in the hauler, how much fuel in the race car. You priced it out, and you gave the bottom line and said, hey, this is how much it costs to go racing. Now the prices are really high. Availability is low. What kind of reaction did you get when you put that out there saying this is the realistic cost of going racing?
I'm happy you brought that up because it was an eye-opener. You know, we run the racing team as a business, and I was looking at how much money we made and how much money we lost. And, I thought, okay, we run 12 features last year. We finished in the top 2 or 3 every night that we raced. We should at least be even or just a little bit above. And we were in the hole. And I'm like, wow, how did that even happen? So that's why I made that spreadsheet up, and I started doing the math, and I thought, okay, you're paying for pit passes, you're paying for fuel, you're paying for all this stuff. You got to take the time that it takes to freshen an engine and do all that stuff. And I realized, oh, man, we're spending about $300 a week before we even get to the racetrack. And, and we were talking about it this weekend with some of the late model guys. Just to hit the button on one of those things at the beginning of a night, you're $1,500 in the hole. It's incredible what you have to do, and I hope that we can kind of weather the storm here, that racing can survive kind of what we have going on between fuel prices and the tire stuff is really a problem right now for everybody. You've seen pictures of guys having their tires peel off and just getting the availability. But that spreadsheet, I got a lot of feedback from people just in private messages saying, hey, thanks a lot. I didn't realize how much money I was spending. But they can also, they were also using that as a tool to go to sponsors and say, here, this is exactly what it costs for me to go to the racetrack every week. It's not that cheap of a date to do this, and it's only getting worse right now.
I dug that up on Chris Carlson Racing on Facebook back to March 2nd. So if you want to time date it, I gave you the date. I gave you where to find it. And I'm glad that you did that because now it's probably going to help you guys figure out what to do. And the sponsors you've attracted, there's quite a few of them. Let's talk about who they are this year helping you out.
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate. Last season we had some success that helped out. And we actually brought some new people on board, Barbecue Supply Company and Provisor Mortgage Solutions. They weren't even involved in racing at all, which is really awesome. And we've partnered up actually with Provisor with our MKE laser design business on some of the stuff that we do. But bringing somebody in new is really neat. And from the first time we posted that, saying that here's Barbecue Supply Company, this is the first time they're doing that. They actually had a lot of people responding to them and going to their page And that was pretty neat to see, and they were pretty happy about that.
MKE Laser Design, it's what Chris does as a hobby. We've got two beautiful pieces of art, I want to call them. You have donated to give away after the show today. Take us through what these designs represent and what you guys came up with.
So we work with a company called Provisor Mortgage Solutions, and actually he does a lot of stuff with veterans. He works with a company called Vetted VA. So what they do is they vet these mortgage companies to make sure they're not taking advantage of vets or anything like that when they're giving them mortgages. And Provisor is part of that. Is part of that team, I guess you would call it. And what he's actually been doing is taking from a lot of the customers that he's had for vets. We have been making a lot of wall decor for them, thanking them for their service, thanking them for their sacrifices. And what's really neat to see is getting pictures from him. Pictures from vets saying, thank you so much. I actually got this and I was crying when I got it, which is actually really awesome to see.
Yeah.
And we've been working on a partnership with Provisor, and that's been a really neat relationship, and we see things going forward with them.
But you tinker with race cars all the time. You design your own race onto your head, or you have to sit down and look at a car and scribble it out before it was cut, literally with a laser in the metal.
Yeah, I kind of take a picture of a race car and then try to see how that's going to look. And actually we have a material that we route out of, we use a router, we cut that out, and then we actually print on the surface of it, which is really neat because we can make some custom designs. What we've been doing a lot with our stuff is, and people can contact us at MKE Laser Design on Facebook, that we supply our sponsors with thank you gifts. So, so that's Central Services. Hey, thank you, Gary, very much for your support. And we give these out to all of our sponsors to give them back even more than what they've been doing for us.
Who else is helping you this year, Chris?
So, as I mentioned, Central Services, Gary Bohr. It's pretty awesome. Actually, with all of our sponsors, the one thing that is so important to me is that these people trust me with their name on my race car. That is more important than everything, because just seeing my brother Corey and I have been trying to start this MKE Laser Design business, and we're working 12, 15, 18 hours a day trying to get this going along with our regular jobs. And to see what these sponsors that we have on the car and the hard work that they've gone through, and they trust me with their name on our car, which is really awesome. Central Services, Right Foot Performance.
Right Foot Performance is on the front of the car.
Right,
what do they do?
Suspension pieces, racing equipment.
Okay.
My son said, "Yeah, you got a big shoe on the front of your car." That was the very first thing that he said when he saw the car the other day. Source Services, Danny's been around racing forever. Awesome race car driver, owned race cars. It's great having him on board. He's been around us for a long time now. Barbecue Supply Company, Mike and Erica, they just came on board. This is neat. Oak Creek Automotive, we're going to have a couple of shows coming up here with them as well too. Bobby's so involved in racing, and he helps so many racers around. That is so important, and his devotion to racing is second to none. MKE Laser Design, Premier Fabrication. Lee Solons does awesome work fabricating old cars, race cars, straightening out cars, doing things. He does a lot of great work. Gent Bet by Chuck. If you look at the race car we have out here, you look at the way the body looks, Chuck does an awesome job. I heard you talking about Alan Quickie before. Chuck and Alan were pretty tight.
Yeah, roommates. I got Chuck can tell you the story, not right now, but Chuck and Alan were roommates for a while.
Yeah, and I think sometimes when I'm doing some obnoxious stuff, maybe he kind of...
Yeah, there's some stories he's like, I can't tell you about that. I can't tell you that either. Yeah, no, that didn't. I can't tell you if that happened or not. Yep, top secret. All good.
Provisor Mortgage, and then our car owners, Chuck, Bruce, Bill. You talk about doing the math on what it costs to race. We got 3 car owners to keep this race car going, and I'm so fortunate to have them included in having them trust me with racing their race car, and it allows me some time to go and do some other stuff because we have an awesome crew. They're at the shop all the time. If I can't be there, our race car last year, we didn't have one breakdown through an entire season, which is incredible. And that car was fast all season, and I think we're going to be able to repeat that this year. We're just surrounded by all of these great people, and I've always been surrounded by wonderful people.
I think it's probably part of it. Part of the reason is Corey's cooking. I got a slice of his cornbread leaving them one night at Wilmot. I'm like, man, that's good stuff right there. Now you got some barbecue to go with it. Bring it.
Yeah, well, that's what Barbecue Supply Company. I think my brother lives there, if I'm not mistaken. It is amazing when you go into that place and you see all the different seasonings and all the different things that they have available for cooking. We went to a birthday party that they had a month ago, and they had some award-winning chefs that were there that were cooking briskets and all of that. It's the best food I've ever had in my life, and it's all through the seasonings and things that they offer there.
Cool. Anyone else we want to thank here quickly?
I just got to thank my little guy Grayson and Trixie and my parents and my family just for putting up with this for all these years. I sit there and what's funny is I was at Beaver Dam, we got done racing, and I thought, wow, I'm the old guy here all of a sudden. I've been doing this a long time, and I got to get up on the wheel a little bit because I've been doing this for a while, and things have changed a lot. We've tried to stay up on technology, and it's funny. I was talking to Taylor Scheffler, and we were talking about just how beat up you get in a race car, how worn out you get. It is incredible how these cars just lay you in the seat and they wear you down. I can't imagine how in shape guys like Tyler Erb and all of those guys, Dale McDowell, all of those guys are, because these cars wear you down quickly.
Looking forward to seeing you racing. He's going to be at the wheel of Chris Carlson Racing's the number 12. It's sitting right out here in front. Chris Carlson Racing on Facebook, MKE Laser Design on Facebook. And it's great to have you on the show. We hope to have you back here this season as things progress, as you chase the checks in 2022.
And thank you very much for having me on. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
How do I say it for Chris Carlson joining us here on the show? Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing the Modified as well. Thank you, Chuck Berry, for coming down, and all the guys. A lot of familiar faces here in the crowd tonight as well. Thank you for being part of the Racing Roundup show. When we come back, we're talking to the man behind this car. It's sitting out front. It's Mike Rose, the Rocket. He and his brother Matt race these cars. They've actually won races, including this year at Slinger. We'll talk to them about their great car and truck sitting out front. They're racing American Super Cups in a couple Saturdays from now at Dells Raceway Park. That's still on the way on this edition of the Racing Roundup show.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup show.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250, presented by Jockey Made in America, and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Paulie's Pub and Eatery at 81st Street and Greenfield Avenue serves up Milwaukee's best pizza, outstanding wings, and a great pub menu. Paulie's Kitchen is open late every night with great nightly specials. Paulie's has a shuttle bus to all Brewers games. Party on the patio this summer with Paulie. Paulie's has 18 flat-screen TVs to catch all of your favorite sports. Stay up to speed and download Paulie's mobile app and receive a free 22-ounce tap beer. Paulie'sPubandEatery.com. Have you partied with Paulie?
Wings Sprint Car's best drivers go wheel to wheel.
this Sunday night at Sun Prairie's Angel Park Speedway. Tizo's All-Star Circuit of Champions battle bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint. See Sunshine Tyler Courtney, Indiana's Parker Price Miller, the North Pole Nightmare Bill Bailaw, and the Big Wheel Scotty Thiel. Gates open at 4, racing at 6. Get advanced discount tickets at angelpark.racing. All-Stars versus IRA Sprint Car plus Badger Midgets. Park it at Angel Park this Sunday night.
427-1000 American Foundation.
When your foundation is in need of repair, you need 3 things: an honest opinion, quality work, and fair prices. Call American.
Trust and dedication. That's American Foundation.
Call American right now for huge savings.
427-1000 American Foundation.
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. We have a great show for you next Tuesday night. We'll tell you more about here in a little while. We got lots to cover yet on this here program. You want to see the racers at Schlafer Auto Body for your personal daily driver, your fleet of work trucks, or your classic car. They've been doing it since 1974. 4 generations know how to get it done in auto body repair. Check them out on Facebook, Schlafer Auto Body. They've got some great stuff going on there. They've got some great restoration projects underway as well. Thanks to their support on this show once again. We welcome in a couple of guys that are racing in the American Super Cups. They have raced a couple times this year already. One's a victor. We're heading to the Dells Raceway Park in a couple of Saturday nights. Let's welcome in the racing brothers, Matt and Michael Rose. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us. Really excited for it.
Michael, you won the Slinger race, so you get to go first. How cool was that, racing on that big stage with all those super late model guys and, some famous dudes along with your divisions racing on the quarter mile?
I mean, it was super cool. Being from the smaller cars, you're walking through the pits, seeing all these, big haulers and all the ARCA guys and going,